This is Frank film. It's the story of my life
1972,
from the beginning
71,
up to the present and
70,
into the future.
69,
Perhaps
68,
considering the speed of it, I
67,
should call it a
66,
fast Frank film.
65,
Basically, what it
64,
is that I've been
63,
saving images for
62,
the past 5 or 6 years.
61,
All the things
60,
that appeal to me because I
59,
like them,
58,
and sometimes I like them
57,
just because they look nice,
56,
and other times
55,
I like them because they mean
54,
something special to me.
53, 52,
I'll start at the beginning. I was
50,
born in
49,
Key West, Florida.
48,
My father was in a naval station there.
46,
and
45,
I was the first
44,
of 5
September
kids.
6th,
And it
1944.
was,
Me.
I guess a
Moi.
good time to be born.
Morris.
The war was almost
Francis
over.
Peter
It was
Morris.
1944.
Michael Joseph Morris.
And I enjoyed being the
Catherine
first
Jean
of 5
Morris.
kids because
Philip
that means I
James
got
Morris.
spoiled for 5
Susan
years.
Patricia Morris.
And I had a very strict
Saint Francis,
religious
Saint
upbringing,
James,
which I feel
Saint Camilla's,
helped me in my
Saint
work
Jerome,
later. It gave me
Saint Agnes, Jesus,
a kind
Mary,
of
and Joseph,
asceticism,
Pope Pius,
Calvinism,
Pope John,
or
Pope Paul,
almost a Protestant
the
work ethic,
Ascension,
even though it was
the
a super
Assumption,
Catholic
Ash
environment.
Wednesday,
And
Easter,
we lived
Christmas,
in
fine
rather
furniture,
comfortable middle
fully
class
lined, finely detailed,
surroundings.
fully
Things got
padded,
better and better each year.
foam-filled,
Both my
free-form,
parents had been brought up
fantastically
during the
functional,
Depression.
finely
Things were
tuned,
sort of scarce
fully
in their
guaranteed,
childhood. And they
functional
both
and
worked
yet
very
small.
hard while we were
Finest
growing up.
materials,
Each year
fully
that I grew
washable,
up, things got
leaf
better, and
lined,
we had more things around
four-channel,
the house. And
full frequency,
I enjoyed
AM,
having
FM,
things around, and I liked
fiberglass,
looking at them.
Formica,
And I still do, so I
flagstone,
saved them a lot.
flecked marble,
And one of the things
rootwood,
I
footpath,
really liked then, and I
cloak
still
bell,
like now, is
full of
food.
suds, foams you clean,
It's one of my
4
favorite
burners,
things because
fully
you can look
automatic,
at it,
frosted
and then you
off
can
the
eat it
pumpkin,
and enjoy it,
fried egg,
and you sort of
frying
bring
egg,
it inside you.
flying egg, fresh
And
hash,
there
and home
just
fry,
is never enough
fruit
food to
cups,
satisfy
fruit
me.
cones,
And I like
fridge,
animals.
frozen TV dinner.
I always had a dog,
Fido,
or a fish,
Pal,
or a
Rocky,
favorite elephant at
King,
the zoo.
Lucky,
We had a parakeet,
Nietzsche,
and
Langford,
I have
Fritz,
a dog now.
Fluffy,
And I think I'll
Feathers,
probably always have some kind of
Fleas,
animal around.
Fetch Fritzy, first grade,
And
first day of school,
Let's see.
fine cut, filter
I guess
tip,
I'm thinking
fully
about the
ventilated.
time I started to go to
Philip
school,
Morris. Find 'em,
and
feel
there was
'em,
smoking
forget
in the
'em.
back of the
Food
bus,
for thought.
and
French
swearing
fries,
and
fried
telling
onions,
jokes,
fish
and
and chips,
eating and drinking,
frosty
and
fraps,
eating some more.
Fizzies,
I think one of my favorite
Fritos,
times was
fig Newtons,
lunchtime,
filberts,
just to
fruit
see what was in
fondue,
my lunchbox.
fresh milk,
And
fennel,
desserts were about the
fenugreek,
best thing there was.
flambe, flank steak, fritters, flapjacks,
Food just
flapdoodle,
constantly is there.
flan, fish
From
balls,
an early age,
flesh
I
out.
always wanted to go work at my
Flat-
father's gas
flat
station. I
tire,
used to cry and
flat
cry and
space,
say, "Daddy, please let me
four-wheel
come and
drive,
work in your gas
four-door,
station."
four
Well,
on
he finally
four,
let me, and I used to go and
442,
work there
fuel
every
injection,
Saturday when
flat
school
out,
got out.
foot
Then there got
stomping,
to be a
fender
point where I
skirts,
didn't want to go, and I
fifth
almost
wheel,
used to cry to stay
flywheel,
home. But
liver,
I'd become
flashers,
enamored of automobiles,
fins,
not
fender
mechanically.
benders,
I
Ferraris,
couldn't do anything
Fords,
to fix them, but
Phaetons,
I
filling
just liked
station,
designing them.
filler up,
And then I had
fly
the
by
usual
night, flag
teenage
down,
sexual
fleshy,
fantasies,
full-blown
which I
floozies,
won't go into
full in
too
the wrap,
specifically, either
friction,
visually or
firm
verbally.
planks, funny bone,
And
phallus, falsies,
I discovered
foam
other
rubber,
people
forbidden
at this
fruit,
point.
finger dew,
I had a
fish
number
and finger
of
pie.
crushes
I love you,
on girls in
liebe
school.
dich, je t'aime.
And
First love, first
for the
base.
first time I started relating
Joan,
to people
Barbara,
outside me. I'd always
Sherry,
been very private up to
Lois,
that point.
Ruth,
Never shared
Lucy,
anything with
Mary,
anyone outside
Julie,
my family. But
Ellen,
just
Evelyn,
one girl after
Anne
another,
Marie,
I'd fall madly in
Geraldine,
love with
Louise,
some
Constance,
feature or some group
Jane,
of features,
Marianne,
and follow
Elaine,
her everywhere,
Susan,
and in
Gay,
general be a pest.
Barbara,
But
Ann, Betty,
sometimes
Mary,
I succeeded
Jane, Mary
in
Ellen,
accomplishing what
Ratsy,
I wanted
Bobby,
to.
Joan,
And
Christine,
I thought that it was
Pamela, Kathy,
it was
Mary,
it was nice to be
Bobo,
around
Lansing,
girls, and I thought
Sandra,
maybe someday I
Grace,
would do
Peggy,
something, say
Matilda,
in
Theodora,
fashion or
Tammy, Valerie,
makeup or
Carol,
something
Carol,
that would allow
Caroline,
me to constantly
Caroline
work
Gray,
on them and shape
Caroline
them in the
Gertrude
image I had of them. I liked working with my hands. I thought
Finger,
that whatever it was I
fingernails,
eventually ended up doing, it
five-finger
would be with my hands.
Fingerboard, fiddle around.
Because I
Fit
felt
as a fiddle.
that
Fiddle
even though
bell.
I
Finger in
saw
the
things
pie.
with my
Finely
eyes, I was
fashioned,
manually
firmly
inclined.
fleshy, flesh toned,
I was very involved
full of grace.
After a while
Forceful,
in
flawless,
clothes,
flexible,
how I looked
faultless,
to other people.
fling about,
I was very
fling off,
concerned
fling
with
down,
the kinds of
fitted
things
glove,
one should
forced
have that
entry,
you should put
fly
on.
away, far
And
and
I was
away,
concerned with
far
the
out.
social graces like
foppish,
dancing. I took
fopper.
all our dance
Frills,
classes
frocks,
very
furs,
seriously.
finery,
I wore my most
frou-frous,
outrageous
flags,
outfits to
fleet
school
pudding,
dances.
fancy footwork,
And
foxtrot,
then it was
flamenco,
time to go to
frog
college,
prince,
and I
frosh, freshman,
went to college, and I
fresh-faced
started
fathead, full of it.
getting a
Pinky,
rather swell
Froggy the
impression
Green,
of how
Fresh
great I
Milk,
was.
Frosh,
That faded,
Fraternal,
and I was
Fraternity, Free Association,
not too
Free as a
successful
Bird,
at sports.
Free
Then I got
Alongside
into
Ship, Free
just
Thinking,
sort of
Free
socializing
Company, Free
with
Country,
other people for the
Free
first
for
time,
All,
rather than
Free
just
from
tracking
pain,
down
Free from sin,
one person
Free
and
person,
going
Free
after
road
them.
ahead,
I
Free
just
style,
tried
Free
to be
spender,
with people
Free tickets,
socially, and that
Free love,
opened up another
Free
whole
wheeling,
world
Free
for me. Up
world,
until then,
Free
I'd been
loading,
a loner
Free
or
school,
someone
Free
who
state,
chased
Free
one girl,
list,
but
Free market,
at college I
offer,
sort of learned
Free on board,
to talk to
Free
other
while
people.
this offer lasts.
Although I was still pretty studious,
First
I spent
things
most of
first.
my time
Fall semester,
studying. Wasn't
Mrs. Full
exactly
Professor.
sure what
Phi
I was
Beta
going to
Kappa,
do. I thought I'd be a
fluency,
teacher.
foreign
I had no
languages,
idea at
file
that
cards,
point that I'd end
footnotes,
up in
frontispiece,
graphic
forward,
design as a graduate
Frank,
student.
form letter,
I thought
funny
maybe I would
papers,
write
floating
letters to
opera.
people
Form
as
follows
a profession.
function.
That was
Floor
something I
room,
enjoyed doing.
Foundation.
But while I
Four
was
walls,
in college, I had to
greenhouse,
major in
foyer,
something, so
front room,
I
fenestration,
studied architecture.
French doors,
And I got
frescoes,
carried away with it
friezes,
for a couple of years. I thought that was
figurines,
really what I was meant to
fluted
do.
columns, furbishings,
And yet,
furnishings,
I slowly began to
for
realize
rent,
that you
for
can't
sale.
build a building
Fine
all by
art, fine
yourself.
arts
So I got
13,
wooed away
figure
from
ground,
architecture
foreground,
just before I graduated
foreshortening,
and decided that
Flemish
art
school,
was the answer.
flesh
And I would be a
tone,
painter
folk art,
or a
funk
sculptor,
art,
because then you can do the thing entirely yourself. I would be the new
freehand,
Andy
freelance,
Warhol or
Francis
whatever.
Bacon, Sam Francis.
There was a brief
Fed,
political phase
FTC,
in college
FHA,
that must have lasted
FBI,
3 weeks.
For God and Country, Four Freedoms.
Then came
4th
a
of
very
July,
confusing time. I
fifth
didn't know
column,
where all this was
flamethrowers,
leading up to, and I didn't know where I
fox
should go to
holes,
graduate school
4
or
more
what would
years,
happen. Everything
flat
just
feet,
sort of
4
stopped,
Fed up.
and it just sort of ground to a halt.
Nothing.
And then slowly I just sort of
Fresh start.
rebuilt myself.
Frank.
I decided to go to
Frankenstein.
graduate school
Flush left,
and
flush right.
learn
Front page,
something
folios. Flats,
vaguely
first page, first
mechanical,
column,
that
first
is
story,
graphic
first
design, but it was
edition.
also
Boundary proof,
visual
four color,
and aesthetic.
brisket,
And through that I got
fricative,
interested in
phonetic,
photography,
Franklin
and then
Gothic,
suddenly through
folio
photography
gold,
I got
Ventura
interested in
light,
filmmaking,
Fernandino,
specifically
Fausto
animation,
Pass,
and all of a sudden
Fancy
there it
Celtic,
was. That was what I
Portrait,
really wanted to
fat
do,
shadow,
was to
fine
work
focus,
with animated
fine grain,
images
fuzzy
and
focus,
make
follow
my
focus,
world with them.
f-stop,
And
field
so
depth,
for my 3
field
years
size,
in
field
graduate
guide,
school, I just
field
played
chart,
around with
fade out,
different
fade
ways
in,
to animate
frame
different
counter,
kinds of
40
things.
frames a foot,
And hopefully
fast
they
forward,
would be
Fantasia,
things that hadn't even been
fantasy,
animated
film
before.
freak, Francois
So
Truffaut,
that was about
Federico
halfway through my
Fellini,
great saving up
Jean-Luc
period
Godard.
of all these images.
First
And
place,
that
first
led to my
prize,
fantasies
first
of what would
cruise,
happen
first
when
night.
all of
Fame
that
and
came
fortune,
together, and
festivals,
I was
flags, fiestas,
sending my
flooding,
films to international
London,
film festivals
Annecy,
and
Zagreb,
winning
Mumbai,
awards,
Cannes,
being
Venice,
a fat cat
New York,
surrounded
LA,
by people who
Hollywood,
would light my
Atlanta,
cigarettes and
Chicago,
offer me a drink. and
Academy
say,
Awards,
yes,
Oscar,
that was a great film.
fireworks,
We can't wait for
Four
your next
Seasons,
one. And
first class all the way.
that's about
Fat
as far
cat,
into the future
fancy
as I can
High
fantasize. It only
finance,
leaves me
first and foremost.
feeling
1944,
satisfied because I think I can make it
45,
now. And I
46,
just sort of think of all the
47,
things that
48,
have been in my life so
49,
far,
50,
and they all just
51,
sort of come
52,
flowing over me.
53, 54,
And
55, 56, 57,
they sort of present
58,
themselves to you in your
59, 60,
recollections of what
61,
I've talked
62,
about.
63, 64,
And all I can say is
65,
this is
66,
the beginning, this is
67,
the first
68,
film you'll see,
69,
and
70,
there'll be
71,
plenty of others to
72.
follow, and
Frank
hopefully
Film.
they'll all be as
Sound
different
by
as
Tony
this one.
Schwartz.
And
Produced by
they'll
Caroline
have something more
Alforce Morris.
specific to say
Created
about
by
me
Frank
in
Mouris.
this one. This
The
one is
end.
just sort of preparing you for those.